Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to see how relevant is Aseevagam today. Aseevagam, Ajeevikas, as we know, in our channel we had discussed a lot about the Aseevagam philosophy. We know that Aseevagam existed during the times of Mahavira and Buddha, and the leader of the Aseevagam sect or religion or doctrine was Markali. Like the Kshatriya warriors or the Kshatriya clan, Mahavira and Gautama Buddha or Siddhartha, Markali was also a Kshatriya clan, and it has been proved by Professor Nedunjeliyan that he is from Tamil Nadu, and in Tamil he is known as Arapayar Satan. Today in this segment we are going to see how the Ajivika philosophy and how they were the pioneers in so many concepts and how relevant today it is still today. And we know that the people who have done extensive research on Ajivikas are the pioneers are B.M. Barua and A.L. Basham. It was Basham who brought so much of information, and he has published a book on the Ajivikas. In that book he says that Ajivikas was once upon a time, it was so popular, more popular than Buddhism and Jainism put together, but over the course of time it has lost in this part of the world, that is India. And he said that it was still in vogue till the 14th century in Tamil Nadu. But Professor Nedunjeliyan again has dig deep into the Tamil literature and has found that Aseevagam is still practiced in Tamil Nadu, and the Aseevaga leaders are worshipped as Ayyanars in Tamil Nadu. So that's the introduction about the Ajivika philosophy. Now let me get into that, how relevant it is. And they are the pioneers in bringing out a concept called minimalism. We know that Markali was a follower of Parshvanath, and all the leaders of Aseevagam, they were practicing today's concept called minimalist. That is, they reduced their wants to a bare minimum. It was said that we cannot conclude whether they were without clothes, but they had bare minimum clothes, and they used to have very little as food. They used to use their hands to even beg for food, and they practice minimalism to the core, because the less you own or the less you possess, you gain a lot of freedom. There is freedom attached to it. And they were constant travelers. They wander from place to place, and they made caves as their homes. So they minimized all their material comforts, but they also guided the layman how to progress materialistically also, but they were practicing a minimalistic philosophy. Like the concept of minimalism, they were the pioneers in establishing, or today's like schools. Today we go to schools to learn, but it was the Ajivika philosophers who were traveling the length and breadth of India, and during the monsoon season they used to stay in a place for 3 or 4 months, during which time during those times they used to teach the children in the nearby villages. And they were the pioneers in establishing schools and imparting education. Not only that, they were into many fields. They experimented on fasting, and they were also good at astrophysics. They studied astrology. They were studying the weather and climatic conditions. They were addressing the villages when to sow the seeds. They were guiding them on the climatic changes, and they were also educating their children on many aspects. The Aseevaga philosophers, unlike other monks or monkhoods, they were not just on literature or rituals. They were scientists of those days. You can see many reference to Merkelly was maybe good at biological sciences, and Pakkudukai Nankaniyar was a atomist, and it was a Puranar who was a physicist who gave the color code of birds. And Pakkudukai Nankaniyar discusses how the atoms combine, how even a spiritually enlightened person can know about atoms, their combinations, etc. So we find Aseevaga's philosophers had a knowledge about the entire spectrum of knowledge, like from astrophysics to biology to chemistry to physics, and they were teaching the children. They were also guiding the villagers, and they were experimenting with their body also. And it was said that they used to eat, some used to eat only once in a day, some once in a week, some were once in a month. So like I said, minimalist, they were having less food, they were fasting, and they were also doing meditation in the open. Today you see the INR statues will be always in the open. They were doing a meditation in the open grounds. They were involved in meditation. They gave a lot of symbology, and like the lotus symbol, the elephant symbol, the horse, and the swastik symbol are attributed to the Ajivika philosophy, which has permeated to a lot of other religions. Talking about fasting, they have discovered that fasting is very much beneficial to the humankind. When you extend your fasting, they discovered that your cells start repairing itself. You can get rid of a lot of disease. Today, common diseases like cardiovascular diseases, cancer, or diabetes, or obesity, and high blood pressure, all this can be get rid of by fasting. If you continue fasting for a few days, we will see an immense benefit in this in our bodies. Today the main problem is food. There is a plenty of food. There is abundant food, and abundant processed food is the root cause for many health ailments. Today's even small children, they suffer from a lot of health problems, all because of not of less food but of more food. So this Aseeva philosophy were of advocating that fasting is very beneficial, and the fasting concept has been taken by many religions and they have incorporated it. All the religions, they advocate fasting, which is very much beneficial. Instead of going to doctors and spending lots of amount, the fasting is a very natural process, and it heals the cells and it keeps the human being youthful. That is what the Aseevaga has to give to the humanity, their discovery in various fields. Today we know about their philosophy in a lot of information about Aseevagam through the other sect people like Buddhism and Jainism. But we have specifics, very little specific about their leaders like Merkelly. Merkelly's philosophy is all about 6 inevitables. He says gain or loss, life and death, pleasure and pain. Everything attaches to the moment we are born. He says that we are all predestined, and there is destiny which controls, or in other words, niyati. This philosophy was not understood by the other sects, and he was negated. The Aseevagam lost its popularity because of its adamant sticking on to the predeterministic thing, or we can call it as fate. By reading more about the Aseevaga philosophers, we find that whatever they said 2600 years back are still relevant to address many problems of the humankind. Thank you.